So today's a weekday, but I'm headed on a train to downtown Chicago for one of my classes, CIV-220 Structural Art. While it kind of sounds like architecture, it's actually kind of different. Structural art evaluates a building with its scientific importance, symbolism, and social impact. At the end of our class, there's always a field trip where our professor takes us around the structures in Chicago that we discussed in class.
So we're surrounded by obvious Mies van der Rohe buildings, right? You look over there, there's the Monadnock building right there. You look down the alley here, second building down the alley on the right. Behind it, obviously, is the Sears Tower. You look up the street right here. The Inland Steel building is the second one on the left. You can see those sort of stainless steel columns peeking out on the side there. So this is just a really remarkable spot. I think that's all. I think that's all you can see from this one spot. That's it. But it's just kind of amazing what you can see.
The first building we went to is the Monadnock building, but I'll let Professor Kaur do most of the talking.
Start with the Monadnock building. This is got two sections to it. The northern section is the exterior is all load-bearing masonry. And as you walk into the building, you walk through 6 feet thick of masonry to go into that building. And it's been restored on the inside to what it roughly looked like in 1890. They have added electric lights, but other than that, it's roughly what it looked like in 1890. Architects get excited about being useful. I think it's really cool about these buildings is they're still working. They're still functioning office buildings, that's why they came up. But they're still like generating revenue from the roads. Although it's slightly sad, this is much quieter than it usually is in here. You can see there's some empty shops.
Thank you. The next building is the Rookery, built by the same architects as Monadnock, Burnham and Root. We talked a lot about how their buildings use steel frames to support weight instead of masonry walls, which lay the foundations for modern skyscrapers. Frank Lloyd Wright also renovated the interior of this building, so it looks pretty nice. Next up is the Sullivan Center, designed by Sullivan. This building also used steel frames, but here they allowed large windows to be installed to draw in natural light, making it perfect for even today's stores like Target.
A steel frame structure. I don't go as far as to call it the first all-steel skyscraper because it's got a couple of masonry walls on the back and the side. But we'll walk past that one. That's the one that's got a really nice restaurant at the base. So like when you graduate, tell your parents you want to go to the Atwood is the name of the restaurant. At the base of the Reliance. It's a lot of attention to the ornate, pseudo-organic stuff. Two very famous buildings. They've got a lot of other ones in the city, and that's so. Let's go up closer and test the
lastly, we're going to the Riverfront to see the trio of Marina City, the IBM building, and 401 Wabash, aka the Trump Tower.
The corn cobs.
The corn cobs. I bet they were hungry when they fled. Wabash, if you keep walking down the river, you'll see the other names. SOM designed that. Bill Baker was the lead structural engineer. And that was made in 2008, I believe. And this is Mies van der Rohe's last and biggest building in Chicago. It's the IBM building. It's got another name now. I don't know what it is. And then Marina City. Similar era. Marina City and IBM building are similar era. Another interesting question is, so like all the Sullivan and John Root buildings, they're all over there. This is lovely here. Why didn't Sullivan and John Root build buildings down here? That's it. This is nice now. It used to be an open sewer.
And that's the end of this field trip. Honestly, at the beginning of the quarter, it didn't seem possible for this field trip to actually happen. So I was bracing myself for this to be canceled because of COVID, but thankfully things have gotten a lot better. And I'm so thankful that I was able to participate in this field trip. It's just so cool to me how in college you get these great opportunities to go down into the city and see the things that you're actually learning about and interact with your learning in a different way that you really can't do just in a classroom. And especially after a whole year of remote Zoom classes, being able to see your classmates in person and talk to your professor in person like this just makes it so much better and so much more worth it. If you're a Northwestern student, I'd recommend taking this class, even if you're not a civil engineering major. Course load isn't bad, and Professor Core is really passionate about this class, and you'll learn a lot about what the field of civil engineering is like. There were a lot of people who weren't engineering majors in my class this year. That's it for me for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.